What's going on, party people, and welcome back to the Dragon Geeks channel. My name is EJ Sparks, and I'm bringing you another episode of SH Figuarts vs. Dragon Stars. And today we are going to be comparing the crazy Super Saiyan fusion child named as Gotenks. Alright, so of course we're going to take a look at articulation, paint and detail, and we're going to scale with other figures, and we're going to let you know who wins this battle and if they are worth the buy or not. So, seatbelts on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get strapped in. Here we go. Alright, jumping right into it, we're going to go ahead and start with SH Figuarts Gotenks. I actually just got this bad boy, and I am pretty happy with him for the most part. He's definitely not perfect, but let's go ahead and take a look at a couple things here. Okay, so starting with the paint and detail. So, looking at the Super Saiyan hair, the hair looks fine. They got some good shading going on right in here and kind of throughout the hair. Again, shading is not absolutely necessary, but it does usually make the figures look a lot better, a lot cleaner. Then you have his like jacket thing. The detail on that is like crazy, like the wrinkles in there on point. And the color scheme looks great. The belt looks great. Everything looks great, and then you look at the pants, and the pants have so much shading in there. It's beautiful. It's not just like a heavy white or a heavy gray color. They have it shaded all throughout there, and looks really good. And everything else looks great, so the paint is definitely on point. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about articulation. So, we expect high articulation from the SH Figuarts, but this one is lacking in some departments, but it's doing great in others. So, starting with the head, I think it is on a ball peg under there, and so can't really look up super high, can look side to side, look down, and of course we have the bicep swivel, and this is the one that threw me off. We have a single jointed elbow. We don't have a double joint like we usually do with SH Figuarts. It's a single joint, so it is limited to what it can do. For example, if you want him to put his hands on his hips here, they don't bend all the way because of that single joint, so that's kind of a disappointment, but it's not a huge party foul, you know. So then of course we got the shoulders that come all the way up here, and these things are articulated. I'm still not sure what these things are or why they appear when they fuse together, but they look cool, so it's all good. And we have a bit of an ab crunch going on, so he can lean forward about that much, and lean back a little bit, get a nice little rotation here. And something else is pretty cool is the belt is articulated. You can move this part up and down, and you can kind of slide the belt around. You won't really need to, but you definitely can. And the lower half is on that 2.0 body, so you can get good front kicks straight up. Splits don't go out too far, but it is okay range. We got double jointed knees on there, got a bit of an ankle rocker, and so articulation is decent enough, but it's not perfect. The single jointed elbows is what really kind of throws it off for me. Otherwise, it is fine. And now we're gonna take a look at this bad boy's accessories. Alright, so for the accessories, this guy comes with two other faces. So we have the neutral face that comes on him in the package, then we have the sort of shocked looking surprise face, and this one even has like a sweat drop on there, which is pretty freaking rad. And he has the face with the kind of the cocky smile that I currently have on him. And then for the hands, we have like the two sort of claw or martial arts hands going on here, and we have the open hand for shooting a ki blast, or you know, just holding up one of his funny techniques. We also have the two peace sign hands. You cannot have a Gotenks without those peace sign hands. And we have the pointing finger there. But my favorite of the accessories, honestly, is the Super Ghost Kamikaze guy right here. He's not articulated, he doesn't move, he can't do much, but the fact that he comes with him, and that is probably his most famous technique, then it's pretty cool to just have that with him there. And of course he also comes with couple of stands, and he has this technique up here. This was the Cosmic Halo that he used against Majin Buu in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, and as you can see, I kind of got it on one of the display stands there as well. So accessories are bang on. He gets a 10 out of 10 for accessories. Alright, and of course we always have to compare the figures with other figures that we have here. So we'll go ahead and scoot this guy back, and we'll go ahead. He's kind of tough to stand, guys, so just beware of that whenever you were trying to pose this guy. we'll start with Majin Buu, his most credible opponent. He's a giant, doesn't even fit in the camera lens. Put this guy back here. Yeah, Majin Buu is huge, guys. So this is about accurate. I remember Gotenks in the anime comes up to him to about his waist, maybe a little smaller. So that scaling is pretty much perfect right there. Ay, this guy does not want to stand up. So scaling wise, just compared to Majin Buu, he looks great. I also have Ultimate Gohan here. We can kind of pose him with him since they almost fought Buu alongside each other before Majin Buu absorbed Gotenks. So these guys look like they scale fairly well together. Maybe because Gohan's on the 1.0 body, he's a little shorter. Or maybe Gotenks is a bit tall. I know he doesn't come up to Gohan's shoulder, so he should be probably a little bit shorter, but I mean, it's no big deal. They are fused together, so it will add some size to them. So I think overall, the scaling is just fine. So yeah, overall, guys, this is actually a really good figure, really solid pickup. Aside from the single jointed elbows there with the articulation, I do have a couple of other issues with him. Like I was just mentioning to you guys, he's pretty tough to stand up. Like, his feet are kind of like, seem like they're like turned out to the side and you can't put them straight to make him stand up. I'm not saying he's impossible to stand, but he is very tough, very tricky. He's one of those figures that you got to put him in the right pose to make sure that he can stand up. And also the face plates, whenever you switch them out, they fall off kind of easily. You really have to make sure you're like shoving them on there like really hard to make sure that they're staying on. So with those couple of things, I mean, it's not a perfect figure. It definitely does have its flaws, but it is really good to have in your collection. So I think I'll just go ahead and give him a solid, we'll give him an 8 out of 10. Give him an 8 because his accessories are actually freaking awesome. So Gotenks SH Figuarts will get an 8. Alright, and we're about to move on to Dragon Stars Gotenks. Alright guys, moving on to Dragon Stars Gotenks. I know this is a little bit different because it's the same character, but a different form. And the reason why I'm doing this way is because these are the only 2 Gotenks figures that they have available for Dragon Stars and SH Figuarts. Okay, so looking at this guy looks really good. I was actually really excited when they released him last year, and to this day he still is one of my favorite Dragon Stars figures. So let's take a look at the paint and detail. It is Dragon Stars, so he doesn't have a whole lot of shading going on, but when you look at the detail of the hair, it honestly looks very good. Like, you have all the details with the lining and everything in the hair. And I know the Super Saiyan 3 Dragon Stars Goku, his hair was kind of like flat. Well, this one is perfect, how it's like sticking out, like the really just huge crazy Gotenks hair. Everything looks good on here, and I know that you can even actually remove the little jacket thing if you wanted to on this figure. I don't see why you'd want to, but it gives you that option if you wanted to make a custom or anything. The paint and everything looks really good. It's Dragon Star, so again, it doesn't have shading like throughout the pants like the SH Figuarts did, but just looking at this thing, he looks really good. Guy actually looks very good. We're going to jump right into articulation. So, I mean, he can look a little bit side to side and a little bit down, but with that giant hair, don't expect him to look up or look around all crazy. I mean, come on guys, it's Super Saiyan 3 hair. Okay, so we have the bicep swivel, of course, on both sides. We have the double jointed elbow. Yowie wowie, he actually beats out SH Figuarts in the articulation department for the arms. Doesn't have an ab crunch, so he only leans like so far over. And of course the body is restricted, the kicks aren't going to come straight up, but you still get decent range. He actually can do the splits better, a lot better than the SH Figuarts Gotenks. And of course we got that ankle rocker on there. And yeah, we have a single jointed knee. So yeah, it's funny because it's pros and cons with both of these Gotenks, you know. This belt isn't articulated like the other one, but you won't really need to do much with it, okay? And I just gotta say, a lot of the Saiyan faces on Dragon Stars look very stupid, and I just really don't like a lot of them, but this one, it actually looks really good. Like, the no eyebrows look looks great, as the cocky Gotenks smirk on there, and he looks like Gotenks. It doesn't look like just a generic toy face. So I am actually very, very happy with the way this bad boy looks. Now let's jump right into the accessories. Alright guys, if you know Dragon Stars, you know that they do not come with accessories like that. Usually just come with a second pair of hands, which are the open hands. But because it's Gotenks, you also have that cocky pointing finger hand, which is pretty cool. Would have been cool to have the peace sign hands in there as well, but for the price point that you're paying for this figure, you can't really expect a whole lot of accessories. So, of course, SH Figuarts knocks Dragon Stars out the park with these accessories. Alright, and just like we did with SH Figuarts, we do have to compare Dragon Stars Figuarts to, Dragon Stars figure, geez, to another figure. And right here I have Gotenks Master and Trainer Piccolo, who, he doesn't tower over him like he should, but of course we know the scaling for Dragon Stars is not perfect. But I'm very curious to see, because I haven't stood them beside each other, I want to see how SH Figuarts Majin Buu looks next to Dragon Stars Gotenks. So let's take a, oh my gosh, this guy. Let's take a look and see here. This was a pretty epic battle in the anime right here. I know you all remember that. So, when you look at that, it's pretty cool that the Gotenks are like the same size because it scales just fine. He comes up like the same height, or maybe even a little bit shorter on Majin Buu, and that's exactly how it should be. So, scaling for this guy, perfect. It is super on point. Alright, figureheads, final verdict on this guy. Honestly, this is one of the more impressive Dragon Stars figures. We all know that SH Figuarts typically do beat Dragon Stars, but I think I'm really going to go ahead and give this guy a 8.5 out of 10 for what it's worth. And he does have its problems, like the articulation isn't perfect. I think the biggest issue with the articulation I didn't go over previously, with the arms, like, I mean, they go up just fine, and of course the double jointed elbow right there, but they don't move forward. Like, oh, I lied. Look at that. Look at that. That's the first time I've got his arms to move forward. See? I'm learning with you guys. Yay. Alright, so this guy definitely does not disappoint. And you know, for the price point for what he is, right now you can find this boy for under $20. When he came out brand new, he's like $25 figure. You can find him used or new for maybe, I don't know, like $15 or $16. And for that price point, he looks really good. And as you can see, when I stood him in with the Majin Buu, he actually is a very good stand-in with your SH Figuarts. So I would very much recommend this guy. Very much. Alright guys, it is time for the final verdict here. Who wins? Dragon Stars or SH Figuarts? I actually like both of these figures and I'm going to be keeping both of them. But one of the issues that I do have with the SH Figuarts Gotenks is he doesn't come with a base form head. You know, like he has the two other faces, which are great by the way, I absolutely love them, but it would be nice to have the base form head with the purple and black hair. That would just be very cool to have, you know? And both of these guys have their issue with standing up. It's really hard to pose them. I got them to pose pretty badass right here. But final verdict, plot twist, I am giving the win to Dragon Stars on this one. And I'll explain why. Not just because of the issues that I explained with SH Figuarts, but when you look at Gotenks, the iconic Gotenks look is that Super Saiyan 3 hair. Just the crazy haired kid who plays around too dang much. Except in Dragon Ball Super, but Dragon Ball Super kind of buries Gotenks, as we all know. So, here's to hoping that one of them will release a base form Gotenks, or, I don't know, can we please get a Goten and Trunks figure? SH Figuarts or Dragon Stars, neither has actually released either one of those guys, and we can't have Gotenks without Goten and Trunks. Hello? But anyway guys, I am giving this win to Dragon Stars for the price point, getting this bad boy for under $20. And if you're still looking for this guy, SH Figuarts, he's still running anywhere between $40 and $60. So for that, you could really just get this Dragon Stars version. He's a great stand-in if you are looking to just have him, you know, in your display stand, and if you want to just like play with him or whatever, he definitely gets the job done. All right. So, what do you guys think? Go ahead and tell me your opinion. Did you think that Dragon Stars is better, or do you think that SH Figuarts is better for this particular figure? Would I say they're worth the buy? I say that both of them are worth the buy, and give them a try and see who you like best, okay? Alright guys, so stay tuned for another rockin' episode. of Dragon Stars vs. SH Figuarts. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you all on the flip side.
Blinding with your desires revealed. Ageless, timeless, what you'll find is being